Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Picture this. Amidst an intense battle, envision confronting an unyielding asthma attack, a condition propelling one into the clinical, antiseptic walls of a hospital chamber. While lying there desperately gasping for each precious breath, a team of medical experts swiftly initiated their intervention. Their nimble hands applied an enigmatic substance reminiscent of the general anesthesia that would eventually envelop him during forthcoming surgical procedures. The brief respite in a storm brought relief and a victory with each inhalation, as if inhaling life. However, an ominous shadow cast doubt on this fragile reprieve. Desperately fighting exhaustion, he lost strength until surrender was inevitable. Sleep seduced him, turning each breath into a fragile memory that faded into the abyss. A twist of fate thrust him into an alternate reality where time waltzed to a different beat. Stage, a hospital bed, a hub of uncertainty, watched by a vigilant medical team. This dream was a mystery wrapped in a strange physical sensation that defied explanation. He was haunted by a surreal riddle that refused to wake him up. Suddenly, suspended above his body, he realized this was no ordinary dream. His mother's presence in the corner worried him, making him want to go home. He stood outside his home at night, looking through the kitchen window and longing to enter, but feeling detached from his family. After some time, he found other disoriented people in the darkness. Navigating this obscure realm, connections formed, empathy cultivated among the intangible, akin to a gathering of shadows, sensing but unable to perceive each other fully. Events unfolded disjointedly, memories fragmented, defying the linear constraints of time. Asked about traversing a tunnel, his response evoked a distant light, gradually intensifying, a beacon drawing closer. Enveloped in radiant light, an overwhelming love enveloped him, moving him to tears. His longing to guide others back to this realm echoed, though his influence remained constrained. Despite the magnificence, he was a passive observer. Describing subsequent events posed a daunting task. An unfamiliar entity communicated within, a language understood as a narrative spanning past and present lives, a glimpse into another existence. A life review ensued, moments of significance replayed, as if flipping through chapters of his life's story. During the course of this introspective examination, he not only traversed the landscape of his own emotions, but also navigated through the intricate labyrinth of emotions belonging to those who had been profoundly affected by his actions, words, and thoughts. These were instances that provided a panoramic view of alternative trajectories, where the exercise of sounder judgment, emotional restraint, and different courses of action could have potentially altered the narrative. This immersive experience in self-reflection proved to be profoundly humbling, unveiling layers of insight previously obscured. In spite of his relatively limited tenure, nearly 7 years, within the confines of his current existence, he found himself contemplating the very essence of the subsequent phase. While he harbored a heightened consciousness regarding his impact on the lives of others, he remained entangled in the intermittent whirlwinds of emotional turmoil, lapses in discernment, and occasional deficiencies in empathy. This encounter with the self accentuated his stark imperfections, underscoring the elusive nature of perfection. It served as a poignant reminder, an indelible testament to the ceaseless pursuit of mindfulness, an unending quest that demands unyielding attention and dedication. At a pivotal juncture during this remarkable journey, he encountered a guiding presence, a spectral entity seemingly entrusted with the weighty responsibility of aiding him in the pivotal decision. The choice between resuming his present existence or embarking on a fresh, uncharted journey. He characterized this presence as a guide, emanating a discernible feminine energy. Although curiosity beckoned him towards the identity of this enigmatic guide and their surroundings, the central focus of this transformative experience pivoted around the profound choice rather than a fervent exploration of their essence. This scenario mirrored a counseling session, with the emotional investment vested in his ongoing life, rendering the prospect of a fresh start a formidable challenge to embrace. Throughout this extraordinary encounter, he found himself bestowed with fleeting glimpses into the tapestry of his future life, a sensation akin to approaching a threshold and instantaneously inhabiting those forthcoming moments. In those ephemeral instances, he was inundated with a cascade of emotions that would inevitably accompany those future junctures, particularly in relation to the trajectory of his present life had he continued along its current path. One might conjecture that such revelations could bestow upon him prescient abilities. However, it's imperative to consider his predisposition, a penchant for overarching panoramas, often bypassing the finer intricacies. Nevertheless, within the ethereal realm, clarity held sway, effortlessly unraveling complexities that eluded him within his earthly existence. Despite sporadically receiving intuitive inklings regarding people and situations in his current life, these impressions paled in comparison to the vivid and lingering sensations derived from that transcendent realm. Following this near-death odyssey, instances in his present life unfurled with the curious hallmark of déjà vu, an uncanny sense of familiarity even with individuals he had yet to encounter. The glimpses he was afforded bore semblance to choices made when the spectrum of options was constrained, guided by an innate conviction of "this feels right. This is the path to follow." Informed amidst this enigmatic sojourn that persisting with his ongoing existence might impede the realization of his utmost potential, he grappled with the nebulous prospect of initiating anew, bereft of guidance or prescient insight. In this profound realm, lucidity materialized as an all-embracing essence, free from the trappings of self or ego. It orbited wholly around the raison d'etre, the teachings to grasp, moments to embrace, and evolution to attain. After re-entering the tangible realm, an enduring ache for that domain took hold, its memory an unswerving inhabitant within his musings. As ethereal entities, their terrestrial tenure acts as a stage for development and the assimilation of distinct encounters. Memories stretching across the time preceding and following his inception lingered. He vividly recollected a deliberate selection of his progenitors based on their personas and innate benevolence. On a profound stratum, he remained convinced that the affliction of asthma had been chosen to sidestep the missteps of a previous existence. This brush with mortality, he surmised, had been orchestrated as a poignant nudge towards his purpose in this incarnation. Upon the culmination of this narrative, a lingering query persisted. Might spirit guides or celestial custodians wield the power to sway the choice to return? Your reflections and input are welcomed in the section below. Until our next rendezvous, take heed, and may benedictions continue to grace your journey.